Alright, my name is Braxton.
My name's Carl. This is our project. It's over social change, and it's to get everybody to know that homelessness in Excelsior Springs is an issue, and by showing you this presentation, we're hoping to show you that social change is an issue, and we're trying to convince you that we can come together and change it. We're going to show you all a 6-picture slideshow, a video, and a poster to inform you about the problem at hand.
Okay, so overview of things. So our call to action here is basically we want people to donate to the Good Samaritan Center. When we go over the Good Samaritan Center, donating to people basically really reduces a lot of things, especially homelessness. Gets people food, clothes, time. People donating their time to help these people gets them off these streets. These streets for them is a struggle every day. Reducing homelessness in Excelsior Springs is an easy task. There's 11,000 people in Excelsior Springs right now, and there's like 15 people. This could be easily fixed by reducing at least 50%. I don't even think that's a huge goal. We could probably get rid of homelessness completely. But there are always some people that kind of want to stay around and be homeless. That's that kind of like their lifestyle. This is a huge problem that we want to communicate to everybody that we see. We want to persuade people that this is a problem. We want to put this everywhere, especially on social media, newspaper like Excelsior Standard, videos over Facebook. Maybe ask the yearbook if we can get involved as well. This is something that could also be solved very easily. Like I said, 15 people are homeless in Excelsior right about now, as far as we know. And it won't take long before we can get this solved. And more people that know about it will get more people involved. Donating to this Good Samaritan Center is not hard. And people don't really think about this every day. They wake up and you don't think about, oh, well, there's homeless people out there. Not like it's a big issue. Everybody's have homeless people. Let's not do anything about it. But, I mean, those canned goods that you have lying around at home right now are going to waste, basically. And they could be used to help these people, get hungry, not get hungry, but get food, they are struggling right now because they cannot find food. Right now it's freezing outside. They are struggling to find warmth right now. So we want to really emphasize that donating to this Good Samaritan Center is not hard at all.
So this is the poster that we created. It states that homelessness is a big issue in Excelsior Springs. Help by donating food, clothes, time downtown at the Good Samaritan Center. So it basically states that homelessness is a big issue in Excelsior Springs, and there is a way to help, as simply as donating food or clothes or your time down at the Good Samaritan Center, and that there's a way that people in our community can come together and do something about it.
Alright, so we're also going to show you now about 5-6 seconds of each 6 photos. We want you to absorb yourself into these photos and what they mean personally to you. And so we're going to give you about 5 seconds to look at these, each one, and then we're going to move on.
So the slideshow kind of starts off with a negative flow to it and then works its way towards positive. Here we have Frosty. He's a homeless man who's been homeless here in Excelsior for at least 13 years. As you can see, we chose black and white for these 3 negative photos. In the first picture, it shows the raw emotion on Frosty's face. Frosty is the homeless man that we interviewed for our project. The second one shows, it's a dumpster, it has trash, food, pillows, kind of like the living style of what a homeless person in Excelsior kind of faces when they're not able to get off the streets, when they can't find a home to, shelter to be in at night when it's freezing outside or when the weather's not good. They choose places like this right here to shelter at, and it's not, not a lot of people here in Excelsior know that people who are homeless, choose places like this as their living style, and it's something that can easily be fixed, but nobody can really do anything about it unless they know that, hey, this is an issue and it can be fixed if, more people know about it and can, help these people. And the third photo, it's a jail cell down at the police station. Homeless people who trespass, trying to find themselves places to live, or if they're just trying to get out of the cold or the weather, if caught trespassing, usually find themselves downtown in a jail cell where they usually wait a day or two before being released. They're given a meal before they're sent back out into Excelsior, but it's a repetitive kind of process, and doing something about it will help kind of kick down on that so that it doesn't happen as often, and more homeless people can start finding themselves in places like homes rather than in a jail cell down at the police station.
Okay, so now we'll go to a positive side of things. For example, our very first instance of positive is a place to, where can the community go to solve this problem, and where can they get involved? We have a picture of Good Samaritan Center. This is the public sign. This shows a place where they can donate to. Gives them a clear message that this is a place that you can go and ask questions about how you can get yourself involved in helping these people out and solving a problem. Right here, this is about the pantry, getting ready for pantry to help these foods. These are the donations from probably a lot of people going to work, and how these people are pretty much donating their time to help these people get their food. Usually they come in boxes as well to about, canned goods, packaged meals, a lot of drinks as well, some soda, sometimes if people are really generous. This really helps them out, and it's a clear example of how these people are really trying to help these people out. And they've reduced homelessness by quite a margin, but not completely yet. And this is probably the last positive side of things, where we interviewed this man named Frosty, and it was probably the most heart-touching moments, was him being completely nervous the entire time, very uncomfortable about what he was trying to express and communicate through his, or to articulate his words correctly. And getting him to kind of open himself up with us and getting a priceless smile like this is something that can also connect yourself with, from donations to Good Samaritan Center, to him being happy and having clothes on. And so now we have a video to show you.
Me, I'm used to it. You wouldn't live out here for about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It is hard out here. Guys like me are guys like you got it made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have it made. Every day for me is a struggle. And I'd like to see you guys not out here.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's about it.
Well, I'll ask you this. Do you feel that Excelsior Springs cares about the homeless?
Not like you should.
Okay, so basically what we want to communicate that getting an interview from a man named Frosty basically talks about how he feels about what Excelsior's done for the homeless. And as you could tell right now, it's not a lot. I mean, there's obviously some donations here and there, but not enough to help him get off the street. And he's been on the street for 13 years. And there doesn't seem to be a sign of change of anything happening for a while until something happens. Okay, so basically we talked to Molly McGovern first. She brought us the ideas of problems in Excelsior in the city. We talked about the drug problem, we talked about homelessness, we talked about a lot of other things as well, but mostly it was kind of like our idea started. And then we kind of moved to Martha Buckman and how she talked about how homelessness in here in Excelsior is something that isn't really getting a lot of attention, and it's a pretty big problem that nobody's really thought about a lot. And then we went to Officer Rennie, and him helping us out and going over to find and interview this man named Frosty as well was probably one of my favorite experiences so far being in school. So big thank you to you, officer.
So as far as we know, there are, from Martha Buckman, from the Good Samaritan Center, we know that there are 15 homeless people, as we know, head counted here in Excelsior. The police department is going to do a head count in the upcoming month or two, so that we can kind of get statistics on how many homeless people there actually are here in Excelsior. In doing so, we're going to track that homelessness, and in the upcoming months, we're going to use what we have here to hopefully get people to realize that homelessness here in Excelsior is an issue, and hopefully cut back on it by at least 15% or 50%. My bad.
Finally, our plan for media, I kind of already talked about this, but basically we're going to talk to the people of Excelsior Standard to publish a poster or maybe something about this to really express that this is a problem, and that people, when they look at this, they can go and talk to us personally about how they can get involved, and then go to the Good Samaritan Center as well. We want to put a lot of posters around town, especially on Broadway Avenue, as there's a lot of traffic around there, and homeless people can see that as well, that this is something that's getting changed, and they have some hope for that. Community Center, we don't want to just specifically express this in downtown, as this is kind of like a general problem in downtown sometimes, but it's all over Excelsior, and Community Center gets a lot of traffic as well, so we want to put a few posters around there as well. And possibly some stores if we talk to the managers, like Dollar General, Walmart, Price Chopper. And then, like I said, we could ask the yearbook people if we could advertise on there as well about this problem and get people to donate to this Good Samaritan Center and reduce homelessness at Excelsior Springs. Questions?
So how did you encounter this homeless man? What were the circumstances?
Circumstances, well, what we had planned was to get somebody's personal story about being homeless and share their thoughts on this. And when we talked to Officer Rennie about this, we tried to find a man named Richard Lewis that would be very comfortable with talking to us about his thoughts and feelings on this. But it was like a wild goose chase for this man. And we didn't end up finding him, so we met Frosty on the side, and he said that he'd be perfect to talk to. And so that's why we came up and talked to him and asked him many questions about homelessness.
So my follow-up question is after talking to Proxy, do you feel you're stronger about this issue as compared to when you began research?
Mhm. I think getting a personal opinion or personal perspective on this problem, as I personally don't know what it's like to be homeless, of course. So getting his perspective on things gives, opens myself to see, this is a huge problem. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to share, was that getting a personal perspective on things really helps influence, your decision making and hopefully getting people to donate this.
Thank you.
Good, same answer.
Do you see how, we had mentioned Project Homeless Connect that's going to be planned in the fall? How that might work into,
Yeah, we're gonna ask you about that as well.
Okay.
But basically, there's a Project Homelessness, like Martha said, that is basically going to get the community to get involved with trying to reduce homelessness by getting the community to get together and talk to them personally, getting to know them as we can donate all we want, but also getting to know them as well, like getting that personal experience like I talked over there, really helps, these people out, whether it be talking about financial aid, resumes for jobs, plan for future, how to get off the streets, as these people have been on the streets for many years. So there's probably more to it. You can ask her more about that.